G'day ladies and gentlemen, Duckville here. Welcome to StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm replay. It is going to be a Zerg versus Terran here. That is right, I am actually alive. The rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, as it would be. Yeah, just sort of had some... I was sick for a little bit, and computer issues, and then I broke my microphone, which was also not very cool when you're doing commentary work. But yeah, let's not get too far into that. If you want an update on that, just jump on to my Facebook page, and I wrote a little post a couple of days ago about what was happening and that we would be back this week with some content, and here it is. Hopefully this one will be a good one. We've got our Zerg player down at the bottom left hand side here. Creator of the universe, winner of many GSLs, and of course the the title of the legendary Nestea award. It is I am Nestea. He's going to be down here in the bottom left side of Overgrowth LE. His opponent up at the top right hand side, who is a barcode player here, but a Terran player that I am aware of who it is. He's a wonderful high GM Terran player from Canada. Went down to MLG just recently to compete at Elhaym, and I can't remember how far he got, but I'm sure he did quite well. It is Elhaym, who was previously on Clarity Gaming. Of course, Clarity Gaming disbanded a little bit ago, and I'm pretty sure at the moment that Elhaym is still teamless. I totally forgot to check. They'll have to ask him. But yeah, he's a wonderful Terran player. Key things about Elhaym that we always look out for, as we have had quite a few casts on the channel of this young Terran, is that he has some wonderful multitasking, and it's quite a sight to behold. So of course, me being just coming back into the fold when it comes to casting, I'm going to do my best to try and keep up. Was that? I was going to say that looked misplaced. You don't want to misplace that first, the second depot. You don't want to have a broken wall or anything like that. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on the multi-pronged harassment from Elhaym. It is no doubt one of his premier skills when I'm watching his stream. You can catch him over at twitch.tv/Elhaym. Nestea currently streams, I believe he has a contract with Azubu, so you can find him, I'm pretty sure it's, I'll have put it up earlier, but me recording right now, I can't actually remember. I think it's azubu.tv/Nestea, but either way, I'll have listed that before when I actually do some proper research and find out information about that kind of stuff. Anyway, Nestea is going to be opening up with a much more traditional kind of opening. We've got some gas coming in. We do have a couple of lings on the way as well. 6 in total. He's got the gas coming in so that he can start up his metabolic boost pretty quickly, I'm assuming. There it is. First Reaper now just popping in to say hello. He's going to have a quick look. Didn't actually check the second gas, but I'm sure he'll have a look in a moment there. Yeah, there we go. So he'll know that that gas is coming through, which means that at a certain point the Reaper is not going to be able to get too much more damage done. Now, one thing that's quite interesting here that Nestea has not done, or maybe, no, okay, he's going to keep them here. Normally when people make the 6 lings at the start, not everybody makes 6 lings, but quite often when you do, you quite commonly send off 2 of them across the map because you want to get across here and try and harass this little SCV who is building the command center. That was like the worst arrow ever. Anyway, one of the Reapers has now died off, and this is kind of, I don't know, it's not a huge deal, but it is really good to try and just at least make the Terran player either keep their second Reaper back at the main base or build a third one, so that they have to make sure that the command center gets up and running. So it's a little bit surprising that Nestea didn't go down that particular path, but he has now cleared out his base of any Reaper threats. That second Reaper has now backed off all the way back home. He's healing up, of course, and we will see Hellions now coming through Starport, the tech lab being built on the racks. No doubt we're going to see cloaked Banshees coming out from Elhaym. Now, one of the things, of course, that has changed since last time that I was able to put some content up is that the transformation servos were removed from Hellions and Hellbats. It was made that basically you just have to have an armory, and then these guys can switch over into the very dastardly and threatening Hellbats. So what we do see from time to time is the Terran players will try and keep these initial Hellions alive. You want to try and build up that force, and generally around about the 9-minute mark or so, we see what is very similar to a very old school beta build that was used by Terran players back in the days when the Hellbats were a lot stronger, in that you can do these sort of it's sort of anywhere between 9 and I think 12 minutes, these various Hellbat pushes, and you can build up a couple of Marauders. You can also, if you keep those Reapers alive, then you can send the Reapers along for the ride as well, and you can actually do a lot of damage. Like, even if the Zerg player goes very similar to the style that Nestea has, which is to get his Roach Warren quickly and get some Roaches out, you can still actually get a lot of damage done. Now, Elhaym has come across in the third base. The Lings are actually going to look to try and put some counter pressure on, but Nestea loses one of his Queens, and the Hellions are still going to be able to put some damage on. Unlikely that they're going to be able to kill this base, but Nestea is sending the Lings across, and now, as we can see, Elhaym is building his third command center here, so he has actually blocked off this entire section. The Lings will now start to try and pick off anything that they can here, maybe force a cancel on the command center, and Elhaym is forced to back off for the moment. The couple of Roaches that are here are enough to get some damage done, and Elhaym, once again with that multi-pronged harassment coming into the main base, the Queen is going to get taken out. One Queen versus one Banshee, always going to be a victory to the Banshee there, but we can see that Elhaym having to be very careful with his micro here, actually losing a couple of these Hellions to the Lings that were there, so that's perhaps not the best of trades, but as we can see, this Banshee in a beautiful position just outside the range of the Spore Crawler. Like, the range is around about to there, so he's actually just sticking outside, which is great micro there, just to get it in the correct position. The extra Queen comes along and will polish off that last remaining Banshee, but a second one has been built. As we can see, this guy is going to come down towards the third base, going to try and snipe off a few of these Roaches. We do see a Spore Crawler now just coming along to protect the base, but Nestea just sort of struggling to get into a rhythm here, which is what you're generally looking to do at the start of a game as a Terran player, because when it gets to mid and then sometimes the late game, it starts becoming a little bit of a trouble sometimes for Terran players, depending on how you're playing. Now, Elhaym back at home has been able to build up his racks count. We've got Stim halfway done. We'll probably see a large portion of Marines and perhaps some mines being built up soon as he looks to start to pressure in towards the Zerg 4th base, because normally Nestea would probably be wanting to move across and start to pick up that base across to the side. Now, a lot of the time what you do see on this map is a 4th base at the gold for the Zerg players. They like to get a little bit risky, maybe be able to pick up some extra money there from the gold and the Banshee. Speaking of money, this gal in the Banshee has been able to get quite a lot of damage done, and with the cloak energy running out, he's going to get a couple more drone kills, but then get taken out by the Queen. But the lair is now done, so we'll get to see what Nestea is going to go for next. It looks as if he is going to go for a standard kind of Bane, Ling, and Muta play here, but wait. Is there no Baneling Nest? There's no Baneling Nest, and there's no Spire starting. So Nestea still just, wow, he's backing up a lot of resources here. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but he is. Yeah, there we go. The Baneling Nest is now on the way, very late, and of course that means that his Baneling speed is also going to be quite late. But his 1-1 is just about to come through here. But Elhaym with a large force now pushing through the middle of the map, just approaching the third base. We'll see what Nestea is going to do. It looks as if he is heading out towards the opposite side of this force, and he may look to flank this. We'll see what happens, but Widow Mines are now about to burrow in. Nestea targeting down the mines as best as he can. One of the burrows down, and it looks as if the Lings are going to come in from the back. A couple of Hellbats are here to help out against these Lings. The Lings are still quite strong, but the Queen support and a couple of Roaches there, they do get a little bit of damage, and Nestea, speaking of which, was also able to just cut his way around through the middle of the map and was trying to stop this third base from getting established. So Nestea, it's not the best of positions at the moment. He's still struggling to get his tech along. As we can see, Baneling speed is only just starting. 2-2 is only just starting. The Spire is... Well, the Spire has only just started. God, it's a whole bunch of just startings here for Nestea. He's quite far behind when it comes to where you would normally see someone at this point. But as we can see, the drilling claws are just coming along for those Widow Mines. We've got 6 racks are now building up. We've got 5 of them with reactors, so there's certainly going to be a lot of units out on the field here for Elhaym. Now he is utilizing that multi-pronged harassment here, coming across towards the main base with a double drop of Marines. Elites are coming in. Now they should be able to get a bit of damage done. The Banelings should be able to come across and clean this up if that will occur. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, Widowmines getting some good damage done, but also splashing across onto some of the units that Elhaym has here. But the 4th base still alive for the moment. Elhaym still attempting to get done what he can. Actually sacrifices 1 Marine for a single Bane. That's actually a really good trade. You never want to do that as a zone player. But Elhaym now with the 3rd base fully operational. 62 SCVs out on the map. And Nestea jumping up to 80 drones at the moment. Just really cranked out a whole bunch of them here. We can see that some of these drones are now just coming across. One Widowmine. Where is the second one? Gets a bunch of kills, as we can see, and Nestea just straight down to 72 drones yet again. More forces now coming through. It looks as if Nestea is going to try and approach from the side. His Baneling speed is finally done, and I think from Elhaym's perspective here, he can probably just back out. He's killed off the base, and yeah, he's just going to say, I'm out of here, leaders. And Boogie's on out of there with the afterburners active on the Medivacs, but he's continuing to pump out Marines and mines, and we can see the odd Marauder thrown in from time to time. Medivacs are being added in as best as possible as well. I would assume we're going to see a few more racks being thrown down by Elhaym at the moment. He's just fixing up a little bit of a supply problem at the moment, and speaking of which, Nestea also supply blocked quite a lot here, just popping out some overlords to clean everything up, making sure that he needs to get those injections done as well. The Marines are now coming through. It looks as if they will be able to pick off the attempted 4th hatchery here. Again, this is that multi-pronged harassment. 3 mines in the middle are also just causing some havoc there, and Elhaym, again with these drops, is now just pushing into the main base here. Big group of Marines now just coming through. The veins just coming across. A couple of minor splits there from Elhaym, and he is going to be able to clean up the Queen and a couple of those spine collars there. It looks as if over on the right, the 4th base was picked apart yet again, but Elhaym is still all over the map, just trying to get as much damage done as he can. Some Banelings being forced to soak up those Widowmines there. That's really interestingly, I guess, lax kind of movements there from Nestea, just sort of sacrificing units in ways that they probably should not be. But 3 Marines going to sit inside the main base, taking out a Spore Crawler. They should be able to get a couple of the drones here. Nestea trying to activate evacuate as many of those drones as possible. You will be able to get out with most of them. The mutas are now coming along, and we can see what happens here in when you are far behind, when you've lost some of your rhythm during the early game. Nestea was not able to get his mutalists out in time, which meant that he was not able to stop these drops as effectively as you would like to see. His upgrades also just a bit behind as well, with the 2-2 now complete on the Ling Bane composition. He is able to finally actually try and combat some of these bio units that are out on the map, but the mutas they're still struggling. It's not the kind of normal muta force that you would see, and these Widowmines, wow. Some really good hits here. Nestea now going to try and come in and do what damage that he can to these small forces that Elhaym has down on the right-hand side, but the big contingent of units is now pushing through. On the left, there's even a command center here just for a little bit of fun, and that is now pushing across. I think this is the end of Nestea, as too many Marines and too many mines are now starting to push towards his base, and with no force, no real production capabilities, he's going to have a very hard time fixing this one up, and there you go. Out with a bang, Nestea gets taken out by Elhaym. Of course, as we mentioned, you can jump onto Elhaym's stream over on Twitch, or you can catch Nestea over on Azubu. Thanks very much for checking out the video, guys. Hope you all liked it. Leave some comments and that kind of stuff. I am now back. We've got some more content coming up. Thanks for watching.